People said this government would never work with this three-headed dragon, and look how far we've come, you know? I'd rather be in government with New Zealand first than not be in government at all.
You don't get it? You don't get it? You don't get it? You don't get to tell me shit!
So we're at the Auckland Uni Club stall. What this is our O-Week stall for the first week here back at university. We've got our stall set up here, and all the other clubs at Auckland University are set up too. We act as like young people's voice in the party. For instance, we run events during the year, we'll get like speakers in or MPs or even sometimes Cinder and stuff like that. What I'm always really impressed about, you know, because as Prime Minister, you've got to know about everything. But like you ask her about any sort of weird detail and then she'll go off on it. And just like listening to all those things, it's like, I didn't even know about that.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm on mic.
Hey?
I'm on mic.
What does that mean?
With them.
Oh, so I can't see you in bed.
Yeah, we won't talk too much. No, so
Go Labour!
I know. So yeah, it's really important for young Labour in Princess Street to have these connections, like Maya, who are MPs who are going to like kind of fight for us on our behalf in Parliament, make sure that that work gets through, and making sure legislation happens. And for that, we are immensely grateful, really.
Wow, man, you talk like a politician.
This is the middle-aged woman's fist.
This is what young Labour can teach people, you know?
Young people they are genuinely more fun than a lot of the older. Well, they're all fun, but it's...
We don't do so many silent auctions for fundraising.
No, we go to the pub or something.
Well, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
If you're not pushing your own party to look at things differently and maybe go further, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Labor was in line with my values. I'd grown up in a Labor family.
Yeah, same.
I wanted to see a fairer, a more just New Zealand and a more just and peaceful world. So it wasn't a hard decision to make.
Oh, no, yeah. Same thing, coming with like big fan with like union backgrounds, stuff like that, working backgrounds. And it was natural.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think almost I expected everyone in the family had, in your wallet, you had your union membership card and you had your Labor Party membership
Had the
card.
picture of Michael Joseph Savage
on the
wall,
mantelpiece.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, you know. There's an old phrase that's just like, thank the Lord for creating the week, but thank the unions for creating the weekend.
Yes.
I always love that one.
Let's go sit down. Shall we sit down?
Yeah.
OK. Labor was the one that got us 4 weeks holidays. So when I brought my kids up, I said, hey, look, the reason why we've got 4 weeks to go away, do you not remember what 3 weeks was like?
I do truly believe that Labor is the party of New Zealand because everything that people are proud of in New Zealand, almost all of that came from Labor. Like, if you think about things like nuclear free, that was Labor. If you think about standing up against the Springbok tour protest, that was Labor. But I think for this government, there's a lot of people saying, like, this government needs to go faster, you know, there's so much needs to be done. And I think it's really valid in that, you know, people are feeling the urgent need, especially young people with kind of climate change and stuff like that. But it's about making change that's here to stay. Like Rome wasn't built in a day sort of thing.
Do people think that young Labor are radical people?
Oh, well, there's the long-standing view that young Labor are just there to have the most outlandish ideas, you know, and propose, you know, full-blown communism next Tuesday.
But it doesn't sound like the ones that I've met are really emotionally driven, that they might be passionate, but they're quite pragmatic in how they want to see change.
Well, we're not the Greens, I suppose. I don't know. There's kind of an impression that people have sometimes about places like Princess Street or other young Labor branches that you have to be a politics student or you have to do law to be able to be involved. I myself do engineering. We have other engineers and science students. If there's too many law students, I think it'd be an even greater nightmare. Personally, I like quite progressive, very much on like what I want to see happen. You know, like for New Zealand to be like world leader on climate change, income inequality. Some people say, oh, it's all socialism and stuff like that. But in terms of like my approach to politics, I try to like be really almost aggressively so practical and realistic. We're here for the campaign launch for Auckland Central and the candidate Helen White. Labor is currently sitting really well in the polls and stuff like that, which is always nice to see. We're really hoping to see some of that translate into support here on the ground in Auckland Central, which we have so far. Like, it's been some of the easiest door knocking I've done so far. I'm mixed about Eugenie Sage because there's some decisions that she's made as like conservation minister where I'm just like the Coromandel thing with expanding the gold mines and stuff like that, and like the West Coast like hydro wear and stuff like that. When I'm just like, it's all well and good to be some yuppie in Auckland and saying that you shouldn't do this project, but if you live in Waihi or you live on the West Coast and you've got a project here that's going to build jobs and transition into a more sustainable economy, some yuppie who's never been there and never will go there apart from some brief holiday and wants to like have pretty photos for their Instagram page, like wants to be able to take photos of this, they're going to visit for maybe a weekend. You know, you're going to live there year round. It's a bit, that's just me though. I know there's different views on that.
I'm here because of what I saw going wrong. I still see a lot of things that perhaps others don't get to see because of my work. I see them because I live in this city, it's my city, and I'd love to be that voice in Wellington on both the big, broad picture issues, but also the nuts and bolts of how we keep this city vibrant. Thank you.
So when people say, you know, oh, Labor doesn't go far enough, you know, they're not really progressive because they haven't, you know, done everything in 1 3-year term, I'd say this is a government that has New Zealand First and the Greens in it. Those two parties are so diametrically opposed on so many issues, but all the things we've managed to achieve and bring them together to agree on, despite that, has been incredible. We've had to wait till the 3rd year for Winston to really start throwing the toys. Even if we were just not doing anything, not backsliding from 9 years of what National had, is actually better.